Welcome to Pocket Watch Podcast. I'm Zach,
Cruz,
Jake, and we're fucking Pocket Watch Podcast.
Yes, sir. Laugh at us or learn with us. We're here to grow.
And growing, we're fucking doing, man. Welcome to Pocket Watch Podcast. It's your boys.
Green 18. Green 18. No. What does Tua say? Nah, chill. Yo, it's another episode, guys. Yo, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like,
Follow,
share,
subscribe.
happy fucking
Halloween.
I should have put some spooky music.
We don't.
for
I
this.
was gonna say,
yeah, I was about to say that shit.
Yeah.
Yo, happy Halloween to y'all. I know we're dropping on Monday, which is probably the
Day before?
29th or 30th. It is
30th.
the day before because I got a presentation on Halloween, the 30th.
Halloween.
Tomorrow's Halloween, man.
Quick question, guys. Does Cruz's costume offend you guys with his blackface?
It's not blackface. Relax, bro. Those that know Tua, those that know the Miami Dolphins and how they doing it, they know that Tua smears his crosses a little bit.
That's
And I
because-
actually
that's
felt
because his
demented
hand-eye-
when I was putting it. It felt weird.
The reason why he did that, though, is because his hand-eye coordination is kind of messed up because of his concussions.
Relax. That's fucked up.
Nah, that's fine. He's fucking nasty quarterback, bro.
Bro, the best. Top in the AFC East right now.
They got washed
Coming
by
off the
Bills,
hitch.
but it's all good.
Coming off the hits, but yo, happy Halloween, guys! We got a good episode for you. I dressed up for you. I thought you guys might like that.
I thought he was going to be like a little kinky little referee whore. That's all. I got excited
He's
for that.
a concussed Tua. That's who he is.
That's what I'm dressing Christian up as.
That shit going to be stupid.
Yeah,
Literally.
Hey, foul on the play. Foul on the play. Yeah, man. Happy Halloween, man. You know, one thing. People that don't like Halloween for religious reasons.
Okay.
People that don't like Halloween for religious reasons piss me off just as much as those that don't like Thanksgiving because of the pilgrim takeover shit. It's like, yo, just enjoy the holiday.
We're celebrating the fucking
Find a
takeover,
reason
bro.
to be happy for it.
Like,
don't,
fam.
don't take it too serious.
Yeah, like just like for Halloween, it's like, yeah, like, oh, it's the devil's birthday, whatever. It's like, no, it's like it's candy and dressing up. Why don't you think of it like that?
Right?
Like, who cares? You're thinking of the worst case scenario for this holiday. Same thing with Thanksgiving. This is food, family, love. It's not about how we
Pilgrims.
It's not about the pilgrims and shit like that. Like, relax.
Bro, nobody sits
Even
at
if
the
it
table
was,
like,
who gives a fuck? We're celebrating. Fuck
Yeah,
them.
like,
later.
that
Nobody
is
sits at the
not the
table and be like,
time.
yo, did you remember the Pilgrims? Like, no one gives a fuck about that. Eat your Thanksgiving pie, bro.
Nah, I'm not going to say it.
This might be the most controversial first
I'm about to get canceled.
first 2 minutes that we've ever had.
I'm going to
bro.
get canceled if I was going to
But
say what I was
it's
going
true,
to
man.
say.
You know what?
Nah, don't say that, bro.
Be realistic,
We got
bro.
blackface. We got making fun of concussions. We got religious shit already.
Fucking
Yo,
cancel us already.
Thank y'all for tuning in again. If y'all want to support, check the links down below. There's Dubby. There's
If you guys still want to support us after this, you guys
Yeah,
check the
man.
descriptions down below.
Hopefully, we're giving you guys some spice this week. You know what I mean? But this week,
People are going to listen to this episode. They're going to catch a concussion listening to us talk.
yeah, because it's just stupidness. Nah, because it's hard hitting. Yo, this hard hitting content is giving you concussions.
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. Giving you concussions, bro.
Yes, man. All right. So it's Halloween, or it's gonna be Halloween, or it was Halloween, depending on when you're listening or whatever. I hope you guys drop a comment if you guys like the costume or whatever. I'm the only one that dressed up, even though I didn't even come up with this idea. I just thought that was like a great thing to explain and how this podcast goes. Idea came up, I followed through. These fag muffins are just sitting here, not.
I'm a fairy.
You're fucking lucky I'm even here today.
Yeah.
Jacob's like, yeah, you better. Oh, yeah. You missed out last week because you're tired. You good now?
Yeah, no, it's good now.
Bro, that was rough.
It wasn't because of me. I really.
You know, I was over here like, oh, let's go help Jacob. And Cruz is like, no, fuck that. Let's not go. I'm like, no, let's go help him, bro.
Damn, bro.
And Cruz is like, fuck that.
Yeah,
I was like-
I believe that, bro. It's
No,
all
because
good, bro.
I said, where is he? And then Zach was like, Point Siena. I was like,
No, you know what he said? He said, if we go to Point Santa, we're not doing the podcast. Never mind.
It's true though. It's true though.
like,
You're
we're not, like, the night's over. The night is over. And we had steaks and everything, bro. Like,
Oh, really?
See, that's why he didn't want to go.
we had a night, bro.
Damn,
I was like, yo, I bought steaks. We're going to grill out everything. Like,
That's real, yeah.
Jacob's a grown ass man.
Yeah, fuck me. I got me. No worries.
We tried to help, bro. Yo, was just a quick story. Jacob, last week when we were trying to record, Jacob couldn't make it because he was halfway here in Point Siena.
Halfway. I was not that fucking far.
Halfway here in Point Siena.
only like 45 minutes away.
But
was it still?
the fact that he hit it, so his tire probably popped around 6. He hit us up around 6:30ish or whatever. Everything closes at 8.
7.
7. So he hit us up at 6. It probably popped around 5:30. Bro,
I was trying to find solutions.
fuck that lady that works at Walmart.
No, she was the bitch.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yo, Zach called her and she was like, because Zach was like, it's not even me. Like, he's right there. Like, he's going to pull up. I just want you to know, like, to see if it's worth it or whatever. And she was like, I don't know why you're talking to me. You better pull up now, this and that. Jacob pulled up literally like 2 minutes later. Like, I called Jacob while Zach was on the phone with her. Jacob's like, I'm here. I'm like, okay, go talk to this lady because she's like, whatever. And then she tells Jacob, like, sorry, I can't help you. Like, this and this.
Too
and
late.
That. Like, yo.
And that's why I hate Spanish people in Point Siena. Sorry to say. I'm Spanish too, but yeah, no. Just had to say that.
Damn, bro, you gotta make it fucking.
I had to make it racial.
Most controversial 6 minutes that we've ever had. There we go. All right, but let's do this.
His last name is Rodriguez, guys. He's Spanish.
I'm Spanish. All right, I decided to
He
say
can
that.
say it.
You know what?
It wasn't no white boy.
Bro, Jacob's as Spanish as I am, bro.
Speak Spanish.
My last name's Madero.
¿Qué pasó?
Nah, Jacob's as Spanish as I am. Fuck
Nah,
you.
fuck you. I'm way more Spanish than you are.
Bro, there's lighter skinned people that speak Spanish.
Pull your dicks out.
I'm more Spaniard than you. That's all it is.
Pull your dicks out.
What does that mean?
I want to see.
You're white and you have the biggest dick here.
Anyways, let's keep going.
All right, most controversial 7 minutes that we've ever.
No, if you guys have stuck this long, I appreciate you guys. I know that this episode we're gonna have like 85% male. We're gonna have like 2% female,
That's our demographic.
and then the rest of the percentage is gonna be non-binary.
That's why we're gonna get Elizabeth back on so we could switch the numbers up. Again. Sorry, Samantha will never join again.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Oh my god! All right.
Yo, so it's Halloween, right? We never get a chance to talk about like spooky stories, ghost stories, shit like that, right? And I don't want to talk about the ones that are just out there or whatever because I don't think we really prepare for it. But I think everybody has their own ghost story. Like everybody has their own story that's why they believe in ghosts, or that's why they feel like, nah, I'm not gonna fuck with that shit, right?
Yeah.
So like, I just watched The Exorcist, the new Exorcist movie, like a couple weeks ago, and it all starts with like playing with shit, right? Like
What
in
kind
that,
of shit?
in that,
Yourself?
no. Like in that new Exorcist movie, the girl's mom died, and she wanted to talk to her, right? So she started doing some weird shit
Like
to
Ouija
talk to
and
her.
shit?
Yeah, bro. I feel like we've all went through little experiences where it was real enough that you were like, I ain't messing with that shit ever again. Like I believe it. Like there's something weird. Like nobody can really explain what the phenomenon is, but I think everybody, at least 80% of the world has dealt. You know, especially if you live in Brazil. Like there's a lot of places where that Santeria shit is like Haiti or whatever. Like those motherfuckers really know, right?
Chicken.
So I thought it would be interesting because, and I didn't even tell you guys about this because I know you got your own stories. So I thought it would be interesting if we kind of went through our own stories, our own little ghost stories for spooky season.
Ooh.
Yeah, like that. All right, come on now.
I don't know how to get into this while we're so goofy.
No, get straight into it, bro.
I look like an idiot,
Of
and I'm
course
about to
you
tell
do.
a ghost
It's
story.
great. Get to it, bro. Smoke your little pen and let's do it.
Ooh.
All right,
Thank you, man.
all right. So the ghost story I want to tell. This is why. How about this? What's the ghost story that makes you believe in like spirits and shit like that? Right.
I told you guys before we got started. That one. I already had kind of an idea.
But you got to go last because
Yeah,
you're the
he has
number
the
one.
golden one.
So stay tuned because Zach has the number one. I'm going to be quick with this one. The one for me that chilled the hell out of me. And for me, it wasn't even like somebody died or anything like that. I feel like it was because I was young.
Yeah.
I feel like it was because I was really young. And even in the movies, they tap into that shit because I think that's a lot of people's experiences when they're young. They have a lot of these encounters. I remember being in my old house, the house in Poinciana that we used to go to all the time. My cousins used to live with me even before I met you guys. Like when I first moved down, I moved in with my uncle and my cousins, and I didn't even go. That was when I went to Eastside Elementary, like down by Bearded Dragon and shit like that. So me and my cousin, my parents had their master bedroom and then the master bathroom that like led into this hallway with the closet, and it had this nice corner little tub with the like stand up shower, and then there was like this little nook that was like a little nook for the toilet that was like a closed door situation. So just imagine kind of like my bathroom where there's like that, it's just there for a toilet and you could close the door. So what we used to like to do is, because when we were young, we were like, yo, this bathroom's big. Like we saw the bathroom like really big. So we used to like to play hide and go seek, but with the lights off, like pitch black in the bathroom. There's no windows or nothing, so it's pitch black in the whole bathroom, the whole hallway, closet, air, all that. And we'd be like, all right, so we're gonna go hide in there. One of us goes hides in there, and then the other one counts, and then you have to walk in, and it's pitch black, and you have to try to find the person. So me and my cousin were playing, and I remember walking in, and I was looking, and literally like, that's the thing that gave me chills was I wasn't even like creeped out. I was so innocent in this game. Like I wasn't even creeped out or nothing. You know how sometimes your mind can play tricks on you, so it's like whatever. I wasn't even
like whenever you go to like, if you ever lived in a 2-story house as a kid. And like you go down the stairs middle of the night to go grab a snack, and then you like are in the dark, and you go to run back up the stairs, and you swear to God in your mind that a monster's about to grab your fucking leg and yank your ass back down the stairs. That's your mind.
How was at my old house, but yes.
Fuck a 2-story. I run from my bathroom and jump in my bed right now, like today, bro. But I remember walking in, I was like, okay, and the rule of the game was you have to close the bathroom door, so it was really pitch black before you start looking. So I walked in, and I kind of looked in the closet briefly, but the closet was, there was too much area. I was like, all right, no. And then I walked into the the tub area. Okay, he's not in the tub. I tried to check the shower area. He's not in the shower. So then I went into the little toilet nook. And I remember looking, and you know how your eyes can kind of get used to the darkness? Like, clear as day, I saw my cousin, like, sitting in a little ball next, like this, next to the toilet, right? And I was like, I remember seeing him. I remember seeing, like, the little ball there, and I was just like, and I felt a knee. And I was like, I got you. And then my cousin was in the closet, and he was like, what are you talking about? And bro, like, yo, like the chills. Like I literally thought there was a homeless child in my bathroom. You know what I mean? Like it was so real to me. Like I walked through, it was all black. I checked everywhere up until the toilet area is the last spot.
Yeah.
I swear I checked everywhere, and I missed him. I missed my cousin in the fucking closet.
Is your cousin gay now?
No.
Well, that would be ironic as fuck.
He's got all kinds of problems at this point. But
that'd be ironic as fuck.
Bro, but like I made it all the way to the end of the checking, and I was like, like, bro, I can almost see you right now. Like, this is kind of dumb game almost. And then I like grabbed, I felt the knee. Yeah, because and then it looked like he was sitting there like crunched up next to the toilet. And I saw the mask, and I was like, got you. And I like literally shook a knee. And then when I heard his voice in the closet, like, nah, what are you talking about? I'm right here. Bro, my hair stood up, and I fucking ran out of the bathroom, and it scared me even more because he came out there. It was almost like he was the ghost because I was so sure that there was a person in this bathroom. Like, that's what scared me. What scared me was like, my cousin's right here, and I got you, and then I heard a voice in the closet. And when I was running out of the bathroom, he came out of the closet like, what's going on? And I was like, ah! Like I was freaking out.
Like, how did you teleport to David Blaine?
Bro, and then he came out with me into the room where it was like sunlight or whatever. We turned the lights on, and I went into the bathroom and we checked the toilet, and there was like nothing there, nobody there. And I know for a fact that there was like a little kid ghost playing with us that day. Like a fact. Like I don't know how else to, like everybody has something like this, and it's like I don't even know how else to explain it. But I was more scared of my cousin's voice and shit because that's how real that knee shake was in my mind. Like knee shake, like whatever, and there was nothing like no trash can or nothing next to the toilet or anything like that. And that shit freaked the shit out of me, bro. And honestly, we never played that game ever again.
I was gonna ask you, did you guys ever play again?
That's it. That was like fucking it.
Just play that game again. Like that was the last time I ever played that game, bro. I've had a couple other stories, but nothing was more real
like that
than that story, bro. Yeah. Like that, like in my mind, that's why whenever I watch some of these scary movies and stuff, like it still fucks with me because I'm like, I don't like the spiritual shit or nothing like that. Like,
yeah, that's how I am.
Like scary movies are okay or whatever, but when you get into like that spiritual, demented shit, it gets a little too
like
real.
Exorcist.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. But yeah,
shit. All right. Well, mine's definitely not that bad either. So mine was like kind of like, all right. I was 7. I was 7 or 8. I had the GameCube. You know what the GameCube was? Mm-hmm. And my dad had passed not too long. No, I wasn't 7 or 8. I was like 11. I was 11. My dad had passed about a couple months before. And I was playing on my GameCube. My oldest brother was downstairs. My other siblings were gone out the house. There's my older brother downstairs. I was upstairs. I had a 2-story house. Remember my house?
Yeah.
So I was playing on that shit. And I had the box TVs. You know, them box TVs where you have to push the channel to get to your gaming.
Yeah.
And you have to push the channel back to get to the TV.
Yep.
Like, it's not like all
AV,
like that.
you're setting like the little AV setting?
Exactly. Yeah. So I was on the GameCube setting, playing my little GameCube, having fun. Fucking, I finished it up. I turned it off. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I turn it off, and then I turn off the TV. I don't switch channels. I don't do none of that. I just turn off the TV. I turn off the GameCube, and I start walking out the room. All of a sudden, I hear this fucking noise. And it's like the TV turned back on, by the way. The TV went back on, but it was like a noise, like a mumbling noise. Like, and I'm thinking, like, what the fuck is that? So, and mind you, Chowder was playing on the TV. This is a box TV. So, like, you have to push the channel back to the fucking TV to even get there.
Yeah, it's not like a digital thing like that can switch out.
Yeah, it can switch by itself. So, out of nowhere, this motherfucker's playing Chowder. But, like, the mumbling I'm hearing isn't, like, I know exactly how that motherfucker sounds. And I used to watch Chowder growing up as a kid. So, like, I know exactly how that motherfucker sounds. Like, when it's mumbling, there's one character that mumbles a little bit. Uh-huh. It wasn't him. It was, like, a sound that I was like, yo. And things though, I never used to be, like, all creeped out by, like, shit like that. But I'm telling you. Because I was walking out I remember walking out my door, turning down, and I was about to walk down the stairs. And I heard that. And, like, I looked back. And I saw the TV, and I saw this Chowder, but I just saw, like, the noise was so weird to me that I just ran out the house. Jeremy was my oldest brother, Jeremy. He was downstairs watching TV. I'm talking about I booked it because I know there's no fucking way what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing right now should be on my TV. Like, I turned it off. Yeah. So I just fucking booked it. I just booked it at the house. I'm waiting out there, like, out the house, like, yo, for, like, a good 5 minutes. And my brother's still inside, just chilling. And I'm just like, yo, I'm outside the house, like, yo, no, I'm not going back in there. But I'm like, after 5 minutes, he's not coming out either. So I'm like, fuck. All right, I got to go back inside. Like, I just can't stay out here. It's only me and him in this fucking house right now. So I went back inside. He's just on the couch, like, what the fuck's going on? I'm just like, yo, like, you don't hear anything? You don't see anything? No. I'm just like, fuck, like, all right, I'm not. It's super small, but like that's like my one incident. I'm like, yo, like I don't understand.
Clear as day, heard.
No, clear as day. Like I remember this shit. I'm telling you, like there's no way the TV can A1 turn on by itself, B switch channels from gaming to TV by its fucking self, and then the noise I heard wasn't like it did not sound like a fucking TV show. It was mumbling. It was straight deep sounding mumbling, like I was like, yo, like, and I usually wouldn't be all like supernatural, fuck that bullshit, but like this shit got me to the point where I ran out the house. Like I ran down the stairs, got out the house, said fuck you, I'm not going back inside. Like I was scared to go back inside my own fucking house. Cause I'm like, I don't understand this. I know how my TV works. I fucking play this TV.
And that was upstairs?
I was upstairs.
That's that element of like, this motherfucker's alone.
I'm alone. Like
it's almost like they wait until he's
downstairs.
Like there's
I'm
not
upstairs,
a lot of interaction.
Bro. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not, and that's why I hate 2-story houses. I don't want 2-story house ever growing up.
Same, bro. Yo, when I was looking for a house, we almost looked at a 2-story house. Thank God the roof wasn't good enough for whatever type of mortgage I was, the financing I needed. But that was my thought when I was looking at that house. Yo, we getting scared here.
Did you hear that squeak just now?
Yeah, it was my fan.
I was like, yo, what the fuck was that squeak, bro?
That's why I don't want to.
Yo, something just squeaked like a dog toy. That shit went,
the fucking fan. But no, that's why. And it's not only that, though, because before that, my mom, when we first moved into the house, after my dad passed, she was having my Theo Richard come, and it was my Theo and her. They're moving in furniture, and they heard like a big bang from upstairs. So they're like, oh shit, like, what's that? And then they heard it twice, like, boom, like someone's like fucking moving something. So he was like, who's there? Who's there? And he ran upstairs like to figure out, like, because he was the only guy in the house and her. Mm-hmm. So he ran upstairs like looking around, nothing. Not a fucking single thing was upstairs. And it never can explain until today when they're moving into the house.
Do you guys believe in like purgatory?
I don't know what purgatory is.
Like when you don't go to heaven, but you don't go to hell, you kind of
or whatever. But like the middle,
like the afterlife.
Yeah, like you haven't fully passed on.
Like whether or not you believe in heaven or hell, let's just say the passing of a spirit.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the settlement of the spirit. Purgatory would be like the not settled spirit.
So I believe that I have a weird thing. So I do believe that there's like a heaven and hell. I think if you live your life correctly, so that you have like a way of going to a better place, whatever. But I also do believe that you are allowed visitation.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Like I think that you're allowed to kind of
come back,
have time to kind of spend time to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? But I don't know if I believe it's like if you're a good person, you could do it. If you're a bad person, you could do it. But I also do believe that there are spirits that walk among us, good and bad. I am spiritual. I'm a Christian. I'm kind of like a hybrid type of Christian.
And not Christian too. But
I'm just saying though. But I believe in like God and stuff like that. That's why I mean by spiritual. Yeah. But like I believe that there are good and evil spirits that walk among us. But whether like they're allowed or not. But I do believe whenever you pass that, I think that people are given the ability to be able to see their loved ones before they go. Like I think you have like a moment to be able to kind of enjoy that moment. You know what I mean? And who knows, whenever you do go to heaven, who's to say that you don't get to be able to go whenever you want?
Yeah.
I don't know. So like it's kind of just like assumptions, you know?
Part of me also thinks like, is purgatory something we created? Because nobody wants to die. And like every time I think about me dying, I think about the shit that I have not finished. Like every time I think about me passing, I always think about the shit I am not done with. Like even like I don't know if you guys ever have these thoughts. It's a weird thought, but whenever I'm driving home and I have like that long drive, or
like what if I die right now?
If I die right now, like, and I'll literally think about the podcast. Like, what would the guys do with the podcast? Like, would they keep going? Would they like do a memorabilia episode, or something like that? Like, I'll think about my girl. Like, I'll think about everything, the house, whatever. And I also wonder, like, if purgatory is something that we subconsciously kind of came up with to help us with that.
Or closure of the spirit.
It's like, cool, you died, but like your spirit needs closure still. Yeah. So this is what they do to like build that closure or whatever. Yeah. Which doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think people get given that moment. I think it's naturally. But I don't think everybody takes advantage of it. I think it's like maybe you have a choice to do it.
Yeah.
Or maybe you weren't. Maybe you have to live your life a certain way to be able to do it, and some people don't. I don't know.
It's a weird thing.
Because there is something with like we are all just a bag of bones and blood and water or whatever. And the things that make us is our light, our spirit, our fire, whatever the case is. Just like when they say, when you have a candle and you put the flame out, the heat is still there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Which is kind of a dumb thing. Scientists would be like, that's stupid because that's the...
You can actually spark a candle, though. If a candle, you blow a candle out and you create a spark, and like the fumes of it going, it will relight the candle.
Which is science. Mm-hmm. Which is why that's a dumb... You know what I mean?
They try to be more theoretical.
But there is some thought to that. Like there is a little bit of validity to that. And I think just the makeups of who we are outside of a brain and a bag of bones is a little more.
Yeah.
All right? Like the reason why Zach is Zach and Jacob's Jacob and Cruz is Cruz, it's a little more than just our brains, our experiences, and a bag of blood and bones. Like there's something else, like that conscious, that consciousness or whatever the case is. But yeah.
No, I agree.
What's your story, Zach?
So, to kind of preface it, I don't know if it's preface or preface. I never know.
Douchebag.
But anyways, to kind of like set it up a little bit. My grandpa was always like a really religious person. There was even like moments in his life, I'm pretty sure that like he was a pastor, so like that moments in his life. But he was like a really religious person, huge with religion, like huge with God, for that. And a lot of my family is too. So when my grandpa passed, the night my grandpa passed, I remember, he passed away, and then everybody, went home or whatever. In the morning, I woke up and my mom said, "Last night, your grandpa went and visited."
Now, real quick, because you've told me this story. Now, before your grandpa passed, he was on his deathbed for a little bit.
Yeah, he was. So I'll go back to that. So my grandpa went to the hospital, and then the hospital actually like overdosed him or whatever, and they basically caused him to go into like, what's it called?
Cardiac arrest?
No, they gave him a stroke. They overdosed him on fentanyl, and they gave him a stroke. And so basically, like, he got put in a hospice. He was on his deathbed for a few days, and then he eventually went. And I remember we were all there the night that he passed away. But anyway, so I woke up the morning after, and my mom got a call from, I think it was from my Uncle Sean, and she said, "Hey, we're all going to my grandma's house." He's like, but if it didn't, it's mom's. Like, we're all going to mom's house. JR got a video last night of grandpa coming to visit him. My grandpa, their father, whatever. And so my mom was like, "Okay, whatever." So we all met to my grandma's house. And then my uncle JR, he put it like on the TV, and he played a video. It was like, I think it was like 45 minutes long. I know it was like around the 45-minute mark, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less, but they put the video on. And the video was of my, I'm not explaining it, because if you don't believe in anything spirituality, it's gonna sound crazy to you.
It's not for that. This is for.
But anyway, so what happened is I have another uncle, and his name is Uncle Jason, or Jason, whatever. And he was born with a lot of medical complications. So they used to always say that like he always had like a lot of spiritual issues growing up. Like he used to always have like a lot of weird things that happened to him and stuff like that. But anyway, so that night, I guess my uncle was sleeping. And then I know none of you guys know my grandpa, but my grandpa, he's one of those typical really, really old Southern country people, really stuck in their ways. Very, like the way that he talks, the way he carries himself, like, the things that he says, you know what I mean? And how he talks was like a certain way too. My Uncle Jason has kind of like a little bit of a high pitched voice. He doesn't really like talk like that, but my grandpa always had like a really like stern, deep voice. Always like, Uncle be like, "ZK, I need you to go do this." Like he always spoke really stern and really like low voice, whatever. But anyway, so my Uncle JR was sleeping, and then I guess my Uncle JR was sleeping. Then Jason came over to my Uncle JR when he was sleeping and said, I don't know if I should preface. Okay, so I'll preface it a little more.
Which is one uncle.
Yeah, and then and they live together, by the way. Jason and JR live together.
Sons.
So JR, to kind of like, without getting too personal, JR and my grandpa had a falling out many years ago. JR was my grandpa's firstborn. They had a falling out, and they never really had that closure with each other about it. Mm-hmm. And I guess my Uncle JR, when my grandpa passed, I guess he had that feeling that my grandpa didn't love him because of their falling out. And so my Uncle Jason came into his room that night. And then my Uncle JR was woken up with my Uncle Jason standing there. And he was like, "Boy, don't you ever think I didn't love you for one moment." Which is how my grandpa talks. And so my Uncle
That's
JR,
how your Uncle Jason talked.
That's how Uncle Jason talked. But that's how my grandpa spoke.
Yeah.
So my Uncle JR freaked out and was like, what the fuck? He like looked up and he like didn't know what was going on. So he was like in a process. And they talked a little bit. And then I guess like all the commotion that was going on, his daughter, which is named Katie, my cousin, she woke up, she came to the room. And then that's when the recording starts. And my Uncle Jason's sitting there in the room and he's talking to my Uncle JR. And then, my grandpa's older, so he don't know about technology or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jason is like super technologically advanced. He knows all about technology. They're all a bunch of dorks like that. They like to play video game stuff. So my Uncle Katie's there and she starts recording it. And like, they're kind of like having like a little bit of a conversation between each other about like, I know we had some hard times, but you're my firstborn. I always love you no matter what. How dare you feel that like I don't love you like that and everything, So they're recording that and then he realizes that Katie's recording him. He looks over and goes, Katie, you recording this? And she's like, yeah. He goes, okay, I want you to record this for everybody. And he goes through like a list, man. Like when I say a list, I mean like I said, it's a 45-minute video, so it's deep, bro. And when he was on his deathbed, everybody took a chance to go have like one-on-one time with him. And in that video, he touches base on a lot of stuff that was said during that one-on-one time and things that happened in life that only my grandpa and that person knew. And he went through the list of every single person. And that was kind of his way of letting everybody know, like, this is me.
Mm. Damn, bro.
It's a lot.
Like, that's crazy. Like, speaking like that, like Zach has a high pitched voice, right? So imagine Zach coming through with like a,
country ass voice, like
yeah. So anyway, I had to push over that little frog in my throat. So yeah, all that happened, and then the video goes on for a while. He spoke about a lot of things that, like, he definitely made sure that each individual person knew that it was him.
Like he was getting his shit off.
Yeah. And it was crazy because at the end of the video, basically he was like, all right, y'all, I gotta go. The time's come. And that's funny because my Katie, my cousin, said, what is God like? I mean, what is it's like, have you been to heaven yet? And he said, oh yeah. And she said, well, how was it? And he said it was beautiful. And he said, tough, bro. Tough.
Yes.
All right, so Katie said how was heaven. He was like, oh, heaven was beautiful, and he was saying how when he arrived there was like big gates there, and he said that he saw one of his dogs.
That'd be amazing.
Damn, that's
Jacob's like, hell yeah,
man.
No, because honestly, like,
think about it.
I always hope I will see my dogs in heaven. That's
bro.
Cut off. That'd be amazing, bro.
So he said that he saw one of his dogs in heaven, and but yeah, he ended up saying like, okay, now it's my time to go. And at that moment, my Uncle Jason collapsed on the bed.
Just knocked out.
Just fell. And then a couple minutes go by, and then like he wakes up and he's freaking the fuck out.
Really?
He's freaking out. He's like, what just happened? What's going on? He's like hyperventilating. He's like completely just freaking the fuck out. He don't know what's going on. He's like so lost. And he's like going crazy. And they're like, oh, relax. This is what happened, blah, blah. But yeah, so we all sat around. We watched that video. And after that, bro, to this day, I can never say that I don't believe in spirituality.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. That's crazy, man.
That's deep.
That's crazy. And you know what I like about that story is like, I think when they talk about like spirits taking over a body, it's always like the exorcism.
Negative.
Yeah, it's like it's the worst thing ever, this and that. But it's also like, how do you get that type of communication without taking over a body, right? Because otherwise it's just like these little brief little moments with some spirit or whatever versus like really getting your shit off. And it's like he got his shit off. And
the craziest thing is that it's all on video.
That's the wildest part.
And honestly, like if somebody was to come to me, if they would have came the next morning to me and told me that, I'd have been like, okay, buddy.
Right?
Okay, cool. That's awesome. That's great. Great to know. And like I would have believed it, but like not to the extent. And when I saw that video, bro, it was one of the most it is the most craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like when I saw that, I was like, I got baptized after that.
It's mind blowing.
And fresh after. And that goes to like when you talk about when like, bro, like my biggest fear of dying is not death. It's the shit I did not complete or get off or not even complete. It's that closure, bro.
Closure. For anything in life. Anything in life.
Like, man, like living a, you know, even if decent, good, whatever type of life, but knowing like if your kid, you know, your son doesn't think you love them, and it's like, I've been meaning to get to that, you know?
Tell your mom something or something.
Like, bro, and then it's almost a blessing.
It is. It truly is. I think it brought a lot of people closure because there's a lot of people that were there that were extremely hurt that night. And I remember when he passed away, everybody was like, there was people that were like breaking down, man.
And with that situation, like talking about your uncle, doesn't seem like he's the type to care nor be like aware enough to like fake that. To give people closure that he thinks they
and
need.
The crazy thing is,
you know what I mean?
The crazy thing about it all is that a lot of my family on that side, they have a lot of hostility amongst each other. Like there's people who have problems with each other.
Your whole fucking
and it's
family.
Crazy because my uncle Jason is the most quiet, most extroverted, like to himself person that
doesn't care about other people's closure. Right, like
no, and he's a nice person. Don't get me wrong, but like he's not the type of person that
to be out there.
He's so extroverted. It is absolutely insane how extroverted he is. But no, just the way if he that was an act by him, bro. First of all, he's a genius because of the things that he spoke about, and like I had one-on-one time with my grandpa, and I had a lot of it because when my grandpa was in the hospital for like the 4 or 5 days or however long he was there, I never left his side. I didn't take a shower. I didn't brush my teeth. I actually got so sick afterwards because I didn't even sleep. I was by his side the whole time.
And you were living with him when that happened, right?
No. I was over here.
Okay.
But I
was after you lived with him.
Yeah, after I lived with him. But I went back over there, but I didn't leave his side the whole time. So I talked to him a lot when I was there.
Yeah.
And I told him things, and we spoke about like to him, but like I talked to him about things that nobody in my family knew. Not some of my friends didn't even know. Damn sure none of my family knew about it though. And I spoke to him about things. I talked to him about things, and he brought that stuff up in that shit, bro. And he did it to everybody. That was the thing, is he did it for everybody. With my grandma, he spoke about something that one of like the first dates that they ever had. He made a promise to her for something, and I guess like they never spoke about the promise to anybody, supposedly. And even actually after that video, everybody was asking my grandma like, What was the promise? What was the promise? What was the promise? And she was just like bawling her eyes out. And to this day, I don't think she ever told anybody what that promise was that he made to her. Mm. But I think I end up finding. I think I have like an idea of what it was. But there's that, and then my mom had a conversation. She told me that like everything that she said was there. One of my aunts sang him a song when she was when she was in there. She just sang him a song. And he said, "Thank you for singing me that song," and he even named it right there. So it was like so specific that like
you couldn't doubt it.
Nah,
too
bro.
Specific. You can't even question it. It was like, gosh, damn.
It's one of those things where it's like I don't even fucking care if you
like
believe
you
it.
can't believe, you cannot believe. But with this shit, it's like, yo, it's in your face. Like, yo,
like,
this is.
And the crazy thing is like to outsiders, if you play the video to outsiders, it would be like, oh, okay, that's crazy. But like, if you didn't know the details of like, if you weren't there to tell him that what you told him and only him know, it's kind of like if you like went to like a magician or something like that, you know, and like they like, oh, what's your number? And they pull out your number. It's like, oh shit, how the fuck did you know that number? You know what I mean? Which obviously that's like a magic trick, but like my uncle wasn't there for the conversations. The conversations that I had, they were all home sleeping. These conversations were ones that I had 4 a.m. with the guy when I was the only person in the hospital with him that I had with him. You know what I mean? So it's just
like no one else would have known. Mm-hmm. Nobody else would have known anything that any of y'all said except that one person.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. And, yeah, man, it's like for me, that was undeniably probably one of like the most, it wasn't like a scary moment, like haunted moment for me.
But it made you believe. And
I had always believed because I've always had
it's
like,
not scary. It's almost beautiful.
It is.
It's weird. Like it's
scary. It is weird, especially when I was sitting there. And it's crazy because like the moment when I was watching that video, I had so many mixed emotions because I was weirded the fuck out. Because like, and it's like one of those things where it's like you kind of don't know and you kind of sound crazy speaking about it, but like it was weird to me, but it was also like really wholesome and stuff like that too. Like it was like a closure and everything like that. And it was great to like hear that and see everybody around me being able to experience that and feel it. But it was also a lot, bro. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot. It was weird. But ever since that day, I'll never doubt anything spirituality wise. And whether there is a heaven or a hell, people don't believe, that's fine. But I will argue to this day, tooth and nail, that spirits are among us.
Yeah.
And to whatever degree, it's a speculation.
And it's weird. It's weird with like the form of communication, right? Because that, man, it's almost like that story is so real that he wanted you to know it was him.
Yeah.
Because what's hard is like a lot of people have people pass away.
Yeah.
And like even with my cousin that passed away 22, you know, or 22, 23, car accident, like abrupt, right?
Yeah.
You know, his brothers and mom and stuff, they had dreams, like crazy dreams. But the hard part about dreams is like we have crazy dreams.
Like you can manifest. You can manifest it yourself.
You can manifest it.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of, is it a self-coping or whatever? And they had dreams where it's like, hey, I wasn't in pain. Like, don't worry about that, you know, and stuff. And I think that's beautiful. But it's also, it's not real enough.
Yeah.
For that closure that you need.
To believe it, yeah.
It's like, yo, like, I know I saw him. I know he told me, like, I wasn't in pain, because that's your first worry when you think about a car accident. It's like, yo, how long until you were gone? Because I want you to be gone instantly, because I don't want you to feel that.
Hurt.
And it's a good closure that way, but it's also slightly not real enough where you have that doubt where, am I making this up in my head?
Yeah.
And that's where there is a little bit of beauty in that story.
Exactly.
Where it's so fucking real.
And I think that's one of the reasons why he said the things that he said to each individual person when he spoke about it, was because he knew, like, this would be like, this is me showing them for 100%.
You recording this?
Yeah. And he even said that. He's like, are you recording this on like that? I forgot what he said. He was
something like I don't know what the fuck
you're doing. It was like so grandpa, bro. It was my grandpa, and he was like so lost. And like the crazy thing was, it wasn't only the way he spoke. It was
the words he said,
the hand motions, the body language. Even how he sat in the bed is how my grandpa like always sat down, and like the hand motions that he did. Like if he acted that, he's the world's greatest fucking actor I've ever seen in my fucking life.
And it almost makes you think, like, was it on purpose that it was that uncle? You know what I mean? Where it's like, fam, well, I can't even make that make sense.
I think part of it is because I think that his initial reason for doing it, and the reason why is like, it's hard to like even explain, because we don't know my family. Is really hard. And my uncle JR is almost like an identical of my grandpa. He's one of the most hard-headed people in this world.
Right.
He knows right for fucking everything, and you will never tell him otherwise.
Right.
And I think that he knew that he needed to
not use him, to
do something drastic to like let him know. I don't think if like my grandpa showed up in his room and was like talking to him, I don't think that would be like enough. He
wouldn't be able to relay the message over. He
no.
Leave it
and I think him doing it that way kind of like put like that fucking like oh shit in him. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was definitely something crazy that I experienced, and it was probably one of the craziest things, if not the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yo, I think for those of y'all that are OG listeners, like that trauma episode that we did way back, Zach talked about it, and I think we got deep. But damn, we got deep today, boy.
Yeah, bro. I cried for y'all today, man.
That's the other side of the story right there.
Yeah,
that's the story that wasn't talked about because it didn't have a place, and that's why it was good. I was like, man, we got to get a little Halloween episode because it's like we all got stories, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
There's no place for shit like that, except for right now, man. Thank y'all for tuning in this week.
Damn, we're that far in time. I feel like we were just talking for like 20 minutes.
That's fire, bro. Wait,
no.
Let's. All right, let's. Asshole, titties, butthole. Yo, you know what's funny is we started this episode with the most controversial 6 minutes, and we got deep.
Yeah, bro.
And we got deep,
yeah,
bro. Wait, before we end it, you want to hit the Airbnb shit?
We can
let's do it real quick because
so we can clip it up.
Yeah, I want to put that out there in the clips because where are we at? We're about 46, 47
Yeah, so we got like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, so let's talk about
to preface it, we did an episode where we spoke about Airbnb. We dropped some clips. They did get some traction like that. We kind of spoke about it last week or something like that, or the week before.
Because we're dropping this Monday. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
But anyways, so it's actually funny to kind of follow up because while following up on that, I was actually scrolling through online and stuff like that, and I actually ran into something, and it was like a real estate analysis person. That's kind of what he does. He specializes in real estate analysis.
And this is a couple weeks into the whole Airbnb effect of New York City or whatever.
And this is an Airbnb analysis that was being interviewed by somebody. It wasn't like a podcast style. It was like maybe it was. I don't know. It was like if it was a podcast, it looked a little bit different. But it was like the guy was being interviewed, and he's like a real estate analysis person. And he was saying that since New York banned Airbnbs, they saw like kind of like a crash a little bit in the real estate market a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he was saying that if you follow trends on everywhere, he goes, everywhere that banned Airbnbs, after banning the Airbnbs, they saw a slight crash in the market. And the reason why is because if you think about it, if you buy a real estate property and you buy a real estate property, you're looking to do investment, you're doing short-term rentals, STR, and you want to do Airbnb with them, and then you can no longer do that. What are you going to do? You're going to liquidate that asset. Mm-hmm. A lot of the people that are in short-term rentals, they do not want to even think about doing long-term rentals. Yeah. And especially because their purchase guidelines for them to buy a long-term rental versus short-term rental is different guidelines, way different. But anyways, so they want to liquidate. And then on top of that, they're like, oh, now that they banned, everybody else is going to try to sell. Let's get it on the market fast. Let's price aggressively. Let's move this shit before everybody else comes. So everybody comes in. They drop the pricing. They price it aggressively. They get out of it quick before they lose their ass. Mm-hmm. And then all these properties getting listed all at one time, discounted prices. What does that do to everybody? Boom. It crashes it. That crashes the market in the area. And they said that everywhere that did that, LA was one. Everywhere that did like that whole
New York City, LA.
I don't know the other ones. I don't remember all the cities. I know there's like a few of them. But every city that did it, they said that if you go back and look at the trends of their market, you'll see crashes in all their markets from that time. And a couple of them have not fully recovered from it yet. Like they're still like significantly lower than they're supposed to be.
Yeah, because you got to think about it too. Inventory is already low. Inventory is already low on all these markets. So you take that combined with what you're saying. I mean, imagine all these new houses are going on the market. The only ones that are on the market recently, they're all dropping fucking price.
Not just that,
affect everything around them.
Yeah. Not just that, but right now we're going into the slow season of the real estate industry.
On like the timing,
well, high interest rates.
So right now right now we're going to the slow season. Usually the holiday season tends to be a little bit slower season. Nobody wants to move during the holidays. Yeah, and a lot of people are waiting for tax returns to come. Like, when I get my taxes, I can do that. Yeah. And then now you go ahead and couple that with the increased rates that they are highest they've ever been, 8.6% on a 30-year loan. That's already creating a downtrend right now. Like that's actually affecting markets everywhere right now. And then you add all that New York City shit that just causes even more.
It's a recipe for a disaster right there.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So it's actually really interesting to see how that can affect markets like that, which can be great for locals. local people looking to buy.
You guys can start buying.
But also, like, the original issue that they were trying to solve. So it's kind of weird because it's like market crashes for the city, but it does solve the issue, the original issue they were trying to solve, where it was a housing crisis because the market was climbing so high.
But it's still
so
crisis,
it's almost shows. It's almost like here's the perfect effect of what the city decided to do. Because for residents, they're like, market's dropping.
But
you know,
but there's downsides. There's a lot of downsides to having crashes that significantly that fast, because now people are negative on their property value. They're negative on equity.
People who bought 5 months ago,
Yeah.
4 months
So
ago,
if you
3
bought
months ago, you're fucked.
If you bought a couple months, if you bought a month before that
if you
that
can't
ban.
afford it, right? Like if you're
Not
in
not
long
even-
term,
now that you can afford it, but like he's saying, like 3 or 4 months ago, you were up in equity. Now
but
you're going to
I guess
down
it's
in
like
equity.
how many people are owning real estate for like long term, right? Because like if the market crashes for me,
Obviously,
as long
you're
as I
gonna
don't
wait it
lose
out.
my
Yeah,
job,
you're good.
We're gonna wait it out.
Wait it out, you're good.
But like for like investors
Okay,
and shit
but
like that,
now there's other side to it. There's investors, but there's also the fact that, like, let's say if your job says, "Hey, I need you to move across the country,"
and you can't sell your home,
and you can't sell your home, and your house won't rent for what it's supposed to, because now your property, now that everything's dropped, so now your house is going to rent for what it used to rent. Oof. Because now if you also flood the market with a bunch of rental properties, let's say on the other side they don't want to sell, they decide to go rental. It lowers the rental value. So now all the investors in the area that were charging $2,000 a month, while the next doors are charging them $1,500, $1,600 a month to compete and get them filled immediately. What are those people paying $2,000 a month going to do? Leave.
Yeah.
And if they bought a long-term rental on the criteria of it holding higher than $1,800 a month, but it just dropped to $1,500 a month, that means that they got a negative cash flow on that property.
It's all supply and demand.
Yep. And I know a lot of people in the comments that we had were trashing investors that long-term rental properties.
Like good that they're doing this.
Yes.
Good that
but you know what
happening.
though? You also have to remember that a lot of people cannot afford houses to buy.
Yeah.
And if you take away all the whole rental industry, you have homelessness everywhere, because a lot of people
They still cannot afford the house.
Exactly.
Vacate them.
That's the thing. Usually renters who can afford to buy a house don't usually rent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have outliers, but that's not always the case. You know what I mean? So if you go ahead and take that away from them, they have bad credit for whatever they did. They don't have the income. They don't have the savings or whatever it is that causes
being the way they are. They can't
or interest rates.
Actual house
They don't qualify because exactly. They don't qualify. So what a 2.5% interest rate used to qualify for, let's just say, a $500,000 home, at 8.6% you're qualifying for a $225,000 home. Those rates are not exact, but I'm just saying. Like,
Good
close. Example.
You can't get.
And so you're priced out. You're priced out of it. And what can you do? You can rent. And if you don't have no more rental properties, what happens then? Homelessness.
Yo, side note to that, I think I've been hearing more and more recently than ever. And one of my coworkers mentioned it. Anybody that bought a house in the last year, like that was debating renting versus buying a house, is kind of getting fucked. Or that went on the upper scale of their budget and bought a house is kind of getting fucked. Why? Especially in Florida. Why? Because insurance is fucking right now.
Oh yeah, insurance is fucking ridiculous.
And my coworker was saying he has a buddy in Iowa because he does like paintball all around the world or whatever. So he has friends all around the world, all around the United States.
Yeah.
And he has a buddy in Iowa that's talking about how his insurance got raised because of the hurricanes in Florida. Because all those that are using a lot of these, statewide insurance Progressive,
Well,
State Farm,
it's inflation period.
and inflation period. Like insurance is hitting me hard.
The only thing that's keeping Florida, like not even Florida, fuck that. The only thing in Orlando and Kissimmee intact is the low inventory and the fact that people are still wanting to buy houses here. Like the properties are still flying off the market in Orlando, but everywhere else in Florida, you're fucked. I mean, it's slowing down.
It's slowing down, but it slows down every year. This is typical.
Insurance, I've never, and maybe it's because, but this is my 3rd or 4th year involved with homeowners, auto, all this shit, whatever the case is. But like this year, like me, everybody I'm talking to is like, they're getting the same hikes that I'm getting. And I'm like, yo, it's not just you.
It's inflation. It's false claims from the hurricanes. A lot of companies went out of business, bro.
Yeah, bro.
A lot of companies went out of business. Some of the biggest, most local companies went out of business this last hurricane.
Because there's some roofer companies going around. Hey, you had a bad storm? You had some shingles missing? I got you. No worries.
No, you know what the problem is? Because we have shingles in the state of Florida. We shouldn't have shingles.
They're setting all those fucking roofs off.
Shingles should not be in the state of Florida. Florida is not built
Metal
for shingle
roofs.
roofs.
Or architectural roofs.
No, architectural shingles don't even hold up either.
No?
No.
I heard they're fucking strong as shit. I'm not a roofer, though.
Not architecture. You might be thinking about designer.
Designer, you think? I know metal.
There's for shingles, there's 3-tab, there's architectural, and there's designer. 3-tab ain't worth the fucking shit.
Yeah, I know that much.
Architectural, a little bit better, but ain't worth the shit to our hurricanes and our sun. Designer shingles, they'll hold up, but you're gonna fucking pay 3-4 times the amount. We need metal roofs, slate roofs. Fuck the clay roofs. Get rid of the clay roofs. The clay roofs are not worth it. The amount of sun that we get, it dries and beats up these roofs. The clay roofs can become brittle. The shingle roofs become dry and they become brittle. They fail quick. They leak fast. Then now you want to stir in with the pretty much daily monsoons we get during the rainy season.
Yeah,
we get a what classifies as a monsoon damn near every single day for a couple hours
for the summers for sure.
And then you add that with the heat on top of that, and then you actually add the real hurricanes every couple of years.
Yeah,
these roofs ain't built for that. We got to get rid of shingles in Florida.
That's facts on facts. Turn the music up.
Yep.
Yo. One of our best episodes.
Quotes.
Y'all got me crying.
One of our best episodes. We got costume. We got cancel us. We got deep down gritty. We got real estate. This is Pocket Watch Podcast, baby. This is Pocket fucking Watch Podcast, baby. Yeah. And then some moans at the end.
If you guys haven't already, like,
follow,
share,
subscribe.
Tell your mother.
Tell your father.
Tell your little brother.
Yeah.
Tell your sister.
Big brother. He deserves to know.
Whoa, you guys going to kids today, bro.
Share this shit, man. You never know, man. Because even if you think you fuck with us because you're a weirdo, you don't know how many weirdos are out there, man. Share this shit. Let people know about us, man. Because
let's all be weird together.
Yo, fun fact, man. Literally 3 episodes or 4 episodes ago, me and Zach were talking about we're about to hit 500. A week or 2 later, I remember texting Zach, yo, by the time you upload, we're going to be at 600 subs. And
as of right now,
666 for Halloween episode. Literally, by the time you hear this episode,
666.
By the time you hear this episode,
hopefully 670.
We're hitting 700 by the end of this week.
1,000 by the end of this week.
And if you guys haven't already liked, like, what the fuck are you not doing?
Just give us a like, bro.
Subscribe, life, like, come on, bro. Like, that shit is fucking free, my guy.
We don't even like y'all.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. We like y'all, but like we don't like y'all.
If you press the like button if you want to smack Jacob.
Nah, dislike it now. Look, give us a dislike.
If we get at least 1,000 likes, they can fucking do some shit to me.
I will smash an egg over his head if y'all give us.
There you go.
All right, man. Pocket Watch out.